Hello, you over 3,000 glorious people, and the 83% who have yet to subscribe. Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of a reveal, something that we all knew was coming because of leaks, and we also get Nappy Boy. So Games Workshop have dropped today's article showing off the new Codex for the Imperial's agents thing. So we all knew this was coming due to the leak where we've seen the photo with all of the battle tomes which had the Skaven in it, Stormcast Eternals, and this, the Codex Imperial Agents, which at that point was only rumours and there was nothing really confirmed other than Valrak screaming at the top of his voice that it was coming, and then it turned up in a photo. So we kind of knew that this was going to be the redacted Codex for the summer. How it's going to work, well, that's a completely different story. And then there was a lot more rumours around the Death Watch and everything else and what was going to happen to them, and this is kind of just confirmed everything. So, as you can expect, Codex Imperial Agents is coming, and Mr. Cortez is on the front cover. Classic artwork. I believe 4th edition. I do believe this was the 4th edition book cover for, in Codex cover for the Demon Hunters, which brought back Grey Knights as an army, I do believe. Correct me in the comments if you know any different, but I do believe it was 4th edition. So, we've got stuff. So this means that Codex Imperial Agents can be used in 2 distinct ways. You can add specialist inquisitorial aids to your army or build a dedicated inquisitorial force to your army. Now, obviously, competitive players will do what is the most busted. If they can find that they can make an existingly strong Imperial army stronger by adding in the Imperial agents, then they will do so. If the actual dedicated Inquisitor force is busted, then that's the route that they're going to go down on. It's generally going to be the way it is. As for narrative players, this is pretty cool because it's a very narratively focused driven book. Those familiar with the current rules will recognize assigned agents rule, which means a certain number of units from the book can be added to other Imperial armies, and the roster has been expanded to help fill out your Order of Xenos, Malios, and Heretical Presidents. Do not worry, this is not Grey Knights disappearing or Sisters of Baal. It just allows you to add those into the army. Grey Knights will be coming next year with their own new codex. The Death Watch kill teams joining into retinue units. The new codex also features Watchmasters, Corvus Blackstars, and Watch Captain Artemis, who has not crossed the Rubicon and is still no longer a Primaris Marine, which is a little bit sad because, you know, it would be really cool to see him as a Primaris. Missed opportunity yet again by Games Workshop. So you can include a full Death Watch contingent. So that's pretty much confirmed. If you've already played Death Watch and you are been playing Death Watch for quite some time, you've now lost your codex and you've now been hunkered into the Imperial Agents Codex. So you'll probably still be able to play your army as an entire Space Marine army with just some Inquisitors in it. You'll probably make it easier for you to add in your assassins and stuff like that. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a shame that we are seeing a codex that's been around for quite a while disappear. Black Templar players know how you feel, so there's always a day that you might get it back. So you can have this as a full detachment of a Space Marines as well, which is kind of cool, so they can add the Death Watch specific units to Space Marine armies, clad black in Intercessors and Terminators, melding the strong foundations of detachments from Codex Space Marines with themed specialists from the Codex Imperial Agents. Sounds good, probably going to be busted, expect an FAQ. Grey Knight Terminators and Battle Sister squads are now going to be in the requisition category. Priests and Navigators are joining the party too to provide a guidance in both spiritual and the very literal sense. So we have the detachment rules and we kind of get how this is going to work. So if your army faction is assigned is Agents of the Imperium, then in this select detachment rule step you can select one of the available detachments from the book as normal, which is easy enough. So, if your army is not Imperial agents, but every mod in your army has the Imperium keyword, like it kind of will. I don't even know if there's any armies that doesn't have the Imperium keyword that isn't Imperium, which is weird, but okay. You can include agents and the Imperium units in your army even if they do not have a faction keyword you selected in the selected army step. In case the Imperium numbers of the Imperium agent units can join, here is a handy little table. So, there you go. You kind of get it. If you play a strike force, which is 2,000 points, you can have 2 retinue units, 2 characters, and 1 requisition unit. Which is kind of interesting. I can see this kind of being used to sort of supplement a lot of additional armies. You know, you want a unit of Grey Knights running around your Ultramarines army. You can kind of use this detachment. Yes, that does mean you're going to have to buy a separate £30 book, but this is Games Workshop. Cry harder if you don't like buying books. You should instead wish to field an entire Imperial agents. The Codex offers 4 new detachments, which is good news. So you've got the Imperial fleet, you know, those really cool looking fleet models that we got years ago and then disappeared and are now coming back. Well, there you go. You're now going to be able to have an army of naval officers and soldiers, which is a really cool sort of addition to 40k. All you just need now is to bring back Battlefleet Gothic, and then we literally have spaceships in space fighting, and we have boarding actions with actual naval troops. We can almost recreate the boarding actions. Just one step away from that, which is all we have to do is get Battlefleet Gothic. So one of the detachment rules is Imperial Fleet at all costs. So at the start of your command phase, you can select one of the following to apply. Eliminate all costs. Select one enemy unit on the battlefield until the start of your next command phase. Each time an Imperial agent's model from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, add 1 to hit rolls. That's pretty cool, because you can guarantee that the Imperial guys are probably going to be weapon skill or ballistic skill 4. So hitting on 3s is probably going to be pretty good. I can't imagine they're going to be very good shots. If they are, I've got questions, because we all know that the Navy suck at shooting. Cassie agrees. Inquire at all costs. Select one objective marker on the battlefield until the start of your next command phase, while the agents of the Imperium units from your army is within range of that objective marker. Improve the leadership of an objective control score on the models by 1 and models that have a 5-up invulnerable save. That's pretty cool. So obviously we're going to get lots of Witch Hunters and Inquisitors coming back, and I do hope we see classic models like this get an update at some point. Just not the way Mr. Cortez. And we'll roll straight into that now. So here's Mr. Cortez. Like, seriously, what is going on with this model? Like, we went from such a classic model back in the day with the big sort of chunky armor and the big ass hammer on his shoulder and the bird to this. It's not very good. Yeah, this is definitely a downgrade. So if you've got the original Cortez, like, I wouldn't be running out to buy this one. This one's definitely got scope for improvement if you're pretty good at your conversion and sculpting work, because, you know, there's a lot of negative space on this model that you can really go to town on. The boots just look weird. Mrs. Pointy pointed out that he does look like he's wearing a nappy, and it's full, which I found quite amusing. But it just doesn't look good. It's kind of like they've taken a Stormcast Eternal, stripped it, bulked it out, and then put a mini head on it. It's just not... Yeah, it's just not good. It has the elements of Cortez, the hammer, the fur cloak. He seemed to have got younger, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think as miniatures go, this is not a good one. This is not what you expect from one of the biggest Inquisitor characters in the setting. To have, you know, and this is the model that the really cool artwork that's on the front of the Codex, and this is the model that represents that artwork. It's just not great at all. So obviously, new Codex means new battle forces. So we've got a couple here. So we've got the Order Xenos battle force, which by the looks of it, you get a nice Inquisitor for the Xenos Hunters. You get a load of other stuff from the Rogue Trader and things like that. A nice little kill team. I do think, again, this is another missed opportunity by Games Workshop here, that they could have quite easily upgraded and brought out a kill team in Primaris Space Marines that have the aesthetic that the kill team, the original Firstborn kill team, brought in, with the pouches and the sort of spec-op feel that they had. Instead, we've still got the originals, and when everyone is sort of like moving into the Primaris thing, this would have been a good opportunity for Games Workshop to bring those up into the Primaris era. So yeah, it's a sad to see that they haven't done that, but you know, I imagine that it took a long time to sculpt Nappy Boy. Obviously, you got Order Malleus, which, so if you want Cortez, the only way to get him straight away is going to be with the Order Malleus box, which by the looks of it, you get 5 Terminators, him, and then some stuff and a Chimera tank for some unknown reason. I assume to put him in. And then obviously Sisters of Battle, you could get some Sisters of Battle stuff and some Inquisitorial stuff at the same time in their own box. So it does confirm at the very bottom that Codex Grey Knights will be out next year, which is good, because I can already hear the keyboards typing that I said that they were going to be coming next year without actually Games Workshop saying that. So there you go. You've seen it in black and white. They've said it's coming next year. I fully expect them to come next year with the sort of joint release around about the same time as the Emperor's Children. It kind of makes sense. Reintroduce the Grey Knights with their Codex, with the new big bad from the Chaos, which is a new Chaos Primarch and new Force of Chaos. It kind of makes sense, so I can see that happening. So that's it, Codex Imperial Agents. All in all, yay for another Codex. It's kind of cool that we are getting something new that isn't just a redo of previous Codexes, which is going to happen anyway in a new edition. But I just kind of feel that this is just a lot of missed opportunities. The Cortez model is crap. The Death Watch not getting any form of update or like a dedicated kill team, Primaris kill team, was a massive missed opportunity. Yeah, and yeah, is it a Codex that the game really needs? That's the question that you need to ask. And I'm pretty sure there's an entire video on that sort of topic alone of, is there too many Codexes in 40k? And is there bloat? And is this just going to give Imperial armies additional rules and power that other armies aren't going to have access to? And is just going to be... I'm kind of getting vibes of 8th edition, when basically we had Imperial soup armies running around. And is this kind of just reintroducing the soup element to the game, which massively unbalanced it and massively skewed it. It was just not very good. But either way, it's coming. Probably going to be getting it soon. If they're not doing a preview of it, and it's literally being shown, you can guarantee that it'll probably be out sometime next month. Or at least the Battle Tomes boxes and Codex will be. But that's it. Yes, Valrak was right again. Shock horror. Anyway, we have a preview show for Age of Sigmar on the 10th of August. It's either going to be Skaven or Stormcast, depending on who wins the little narrative battle thing that they're doing online, which is going to be really cool. And I will be here for that to showcase which is coming. But thank you very much to everyone who has supported. The channel is growing incredibly fast. It's amazingly humbling. And I will see you all in the next video. But remember to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And you can check out my platforms of my members area and my Patreon. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.